Hey guys, today is April 23rd, 2020. As you probably noticed from the previous video, I was up at Crazy Town and just kind of got a little busy with conversations with Rob and Wayne and my wife, and busy with my dog, and I didn't get any more videos there made, so um, I'm going to give a brief rundown of what had happened on that trip. But first off, I am in a new location. I don't know if I'm going to have any activity here whatsoever. I'm primarily up here this trip to do some fishing. I got my neighbor Scott and his family going to be here later tonight. And so, I'm going to kind of kill two birds with one stone on this trip. Been a while since I've, you know, dedicated a camping trip to actually going fishing, and I'm just dying to get out there. So, um, the last trip into Crazy Town, before we even got there, it got crazy. As we were approaching, driving up there, there's a pass that we go through, and we're probably 6 miles away from the pass and up in the air above the pass, but it wasn't real high in the air. Probably, if I had to guess, well, and again, I don't know because I don't know. It didn't appear to be that high. And at first, when I first got a glimpse of it, I thought it was a cloud, and as I looked at it, um, it just disappeared, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then it came back, and I realized it wasn't a cloud. There was 20 to 30 objects, and I don't know if they were bright white or if they were extremely shiny, but they were flying in this rotational pattern, and then they would just boom, gone. And I was like, "What the?" This is my channel. What the fuck? Because that's exactly what it was, and so there it is. So I look at my wife and I said, "Brenda, you see that up there?" And I pointed it to her, and they vanished. And she was like, "What the hell?" And then they came back and they vanished. And this went on for, God, minutes. 5 minutes, and I was just in such awe of what I was looking at that it never dawned on me to pull off the side of the road, get out my binoculars, get a good look at it, or even get out my camera here on the phone and zoom in on it and try and get video of it. Never crossed my mind. But my wife, she shot video of it. I couldn't tell she was shooting video. I'm blind on this side, right? Um, and It's real shaky, and there's two parts on it where you can see it, but once again, just looking at it on a cell phone, I haven't transferred it over to the computer or anything like that to get a better look at it. But anyway, we weren't even on site, and that's the kind of stuff that came into play for us. We got into the campsite, and there was one other person camping in there, and later that afternoon, two more campers came in. So there were a total of three other campers other than my wife and I and my dog. Just before dark, as we're sitting there, my wife hears women talking back up in behind us in the trees. The other campers, the closest other camp is like 75 yards away, and then the next one is about 150 yards away. It wasn't any of them. It was just female voices that she was hearing. And, you know, we heard a couple other sounds that, you know, couldn't hang my hat on what it was. But at one point, I did a whistle, and I got whistled back at from back behind us up off the side of the hill. Was not the other campers. So I know beyond a shadow of a doubt who and what it was. Didn't, you know, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it was almost a no-show night, you know, because of the activity that I'm used to having. And, you know, so we went to bed. And we got up the next day, and I took her up on top of a mountain, and on her, you know, driving the truck up there. And on our way up there, there's a waterfall, and we stopped to look at the waterfall. And I was walking down to a viewpoint, probably about 30 yards ahead of her. I had the dog with me, and she gets down to where I am, and she points up at the top of the hill and said there was just somebody up there looking down at us. And I said, there ain't nobody out here. And she goes, yeah, there was a figure standing up on top of it, and you know, it's kind of like a mesa. It's an area where there's you know, some old, well, not new, but there's some cliff dwellings from the Indians that used to live in that area a long time ago. And you know, so we did what we had to do. You know, she pointed out to where it was, and there's nobody up there. You know, but she saw somebody up there. So we got back in the truck and went to go the rest of the way up onto the mountain. And yeah, there was nobody out there. And she clearly saw somebody standing up on top. So I absolutely trust my wife. You know, it's she says she saw a figure standing up there. I'm telling you, she saw a figure standing up there. You can take that to the bank. So back to camp. Rob came. We sat out. That would have been because we got up there Thursday night. So Friday night, still wasn't a whole lot of activity. I saw my first twinkle light for that trip, and I thought I had heard footsteps, and just, you know, once again, not a whole lot going on. And you know, so we ended up calling it quits somewhere around 9:15, 9 o'clock, somewhere in there. And 1:30 in the morning, I heard a scream. I woke up, and I'm thinking to myself, was I dreaming, or did I actually hear that? Then I hear it again, and then I hear it again, and it sounds, you know, I'll get this scream audio put on SoundCloud here probably within the next couple of weeks. But it sounded like a woman screaming for help. I mean, that's what it sounded like. Help! But I mean, it was loud. And so I got up, I got dressed, because I thought somebody in the camp was having trouble. And I walked the camp, and there's nobody up. One lady was up down at the end, and she was just coming out of her tent, taking her little puppy for a midnight stroll. And I asked her, is everybody okay up there? Yeah, she says, well, yeah, why? I got a puppy. I'm taking him for a walk. I just heard a woman like 15 minutes ago screaming bloody murder for help. Yeah, she says, I didn't hear anything. And so I went back to my campsite and went back to bed. And I'm telling you, it was to the point to where I thought maybe I was going to have to hurt somebody or something, because this was a very distressful set of screams. And so went back to bed, got up the next morning, downloaded the audio, and sure as shit, it's on there. And so I played it for my wife, and she was bewildered by it, how she didn't hear it. And so that was that was one of those moments that will stick in my mind for the rest of my life. It's not like a lot of this stuff does, and I can recall just about anything. But this was up there in my top 5. Wayne and his ex-wife came up on Saturday, and they stayed Saturday night. And once again, not a whole lot of activity, compared to what we're used to at that location. A little coffee. We sat out to Pat. Sorry, Wayne and Christy. I almost couldn't remember her name. Wayne and Christy. They called it a night about 8:30, 8:45, somewhere in there. And we didn't stay up much longer than that, probably 40 minutes. But during this time, my wife got to see her first twinkle light, a red one, and she was pretty excited about that. She was like, "No, you're not full of shit, are you?" But shortly after, before we went to bed, I said they probably just want us to go to bed so they can come into camp and do what they do, and and that's pretty common. And so we went to bed, and I don't know, probably about 20 minutes later, I didn't go to sleep right away. 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes at best. I could hear my ice chest open up, the latches pop, ice chest open up, ice chest close, latches lock. And I kind of shook my wife. I said, somebody just got in the ice chest. And but that's about the extent of that trip. As far as like I said, what I'm used to, it just wasn't the normal stuff. I got out of 3 nights, I got one really mild zap, and I got pinned in my chair for about 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and that was it. Just saying, hey, we're here. And so downloaded all the audio, and like fashion, every night they come into camp, 3, 4, 5 different times throughout the night. And but why I didn't make time to make the videos then is beyond me, other than I was just really enjoying myself and enjoying the company, and there you have it. So this is the video for the last trip. I'll be making another video here shortly to discuss future. My future, your future, our future, the future. Anyway, I'm going to sign out for now. So, peace out.